Number 1. Touchscreens. Car manufacturers have gone absolutely screen crazy and drivers are paying the price. Hyundai's own design team discovered that customers felt genuinely stressed when they couldn't adjust basic features quickly, yet the industry kept pushing forward anyway. Here's the scary part. Research shows drivers can be distracted for up to 40 seconds while navigating touchscreen menus. At highway speeds, that's enough time to cover half a mile without your eyes properly on the road. The problem goes beyond just inconvenience. Swedish testing revealed that a 2005 Volvo V70 actually outperformed brand new cars when drivers had to complete simple tasks like adjusting climate control or changing radio stations. Think about that for a moment. A car that's nearly 20 years old is safer and more user-friendly than something rolling off the assembly line today. Euro NCAP finally noticed this disaster unfolding and announced they'll start incentivizing manufacturers to bring back physical controls for critical functions. Some brands are listening. Porsche, Volkswagen, and even Hyundai are reintroducing buttons after watching customer satisfaction scores plummet. Meanwhile, Tesla continues doubling down on touchscreens, forcing drivers to dig through menus for functions that used to take a single button press. When you need to adjust your mirrors or change the wiper speed, you shouldn't need to take a training course. Speaking of things that used to be simple, let's talk about a feature that's disappeared from almost every new car on the market. Number 2. Electronic parking brake. BMW's 745i broke the sacred mechanical handbrake tradition over 20 years ago, and the automotive world has never been the same. What used to be a simple lever connected directly to your rear brakes has been replaced by a tiny button that triggers electronic actuators. Car enthusiasts didn't just lose a physical component here, they lost an entire dimension of vehicle control. The manual handbrake gave drivers direct mechanical input. You could modulate brake pressure, perform emergency stops if your main brakes failed, and yes, execute controlled slides on track days or in snowy parking lots. Now you press a button and wait for motors to do their thing. If your battery dies, you're stuck because many electronic systems won't release without power. Some require special tools and dealer intervention just to change brake pads. Only Dacia and Suzuki still offer manual handbrakes across their entire lineup, making them unicorns in today's market. Manufacturers defend the switch by pointing to extra cup holder space and automated hill hold functions. But enthusiasts see it differently. They see another layer of complexity, another potential failure point, and another piece of driving engagement stripped away. The electronic parking brake might be more convenient for daily driving, but it's a significant loss for anyone who actually enjoys controlling their car. While we're on the subject of things that feel fake, let's discuss an audio innovation that's left enthusiasts shaking their heads. Number 3. Fake engine noise. Hyundai's Ioniq 5N uses 12 speakers, 10 inside and 2 outside, just to simulate engine sounds that don't actually exist. Dodge went even further with their 2024 Charger Daytona, creating what they call a fratsonic chambered exhaust system. It's an exhaust that doesn't exhaust anything because there's no combustion happening. Here's where it gets really weird. Even gas-powered cars are pumping fake sounds through speakers now. The BMW M5 enhances its actual engine note with synthesized audio. Ford's Mustang pipes an additional growl to make the V8 sound more aggressive than it naturally does. For enthusiasts who've spent decades learning to read engine sounds for shift points, throttle response, and mechanical health, this feels like a betrayal. The justification varies by manufacturer. Electric vehicles need sound for pedestrian safety, fair enough. But the indoor audio theater? That's purely about recreating an experience that modern powertrains don't naturally provide. Some drivers actually appreciate the attempt, especially in EVs where cabin silence can feel unsettling. However, most enthusiasts would rather have authentic feedback from their vehicle, even if that means adapting to a quieter driving experience. When your sports car sounds like a PlayStation game, something fundamental has been lost. But fake sounds aren't the only feature that makes enthusiasts cringe. Number 4. Auto Start-Stop. EPA head Lee Zeldin publicly called start-stop technology something everyone hates, and he wasn't exaggerating. This system kills your engine at every stoplight, then restarts it when you release the brake. The idea sounds environmentally friendly until you actually live with it daily. The restart produces a noticeable shudder through the cabin. There's a brief delay before the engine fires back up, which can be anxiety-inducing when you need to move quickly in traffic. Air conditioning loses effectiveness during the shutdown period. Subaru owners have reported this feature as a deal breaker, with some refusing to purchase another vehicle until it can be permanently disabled. Yet manufacturers continue implementing it because fuel economy testing gives them credit for the system, helping them meet regulatory standards. Engineers insist modern starters and batteries are designed to handle thousands of cycles without increased wear. Enthusiasts remain skeptical, pointing to the additional stress on components that weren't historically subjected to constant cycling. The real frustration comes from the reset behavior. Every single time you start your car, start-stop is re-enabled, forcing you to manually disable it again. Some drivers have resorted to third-party devices that automatically turn the system off, which shouldn't be necessary for a feature this universally disliked. Just when you think you've disabled all the annoying features, another system activates to grab the steering wheel. Number 5. Lane Keep Assist. Lane Keep Assist was designed to prevent drowsy drivers from drifting, but it's become the most intrusive technology in modern cars. Hyundai owners have reported feeling near insane from constant false warnings, with some filing complaints with safety agencies. The system doesn't just alert you to lane departure, it actively fights your steering inputs when it thinks you're making a mistake. Try driving on a winding mountain road. The system sees curves as potential departures and starts beeping while tugging the wheel back toward the center. Some implementations are so aggressive, they can genuinely startle drivers, creating the very hazard they're meant to prevent. Different manufacturers calibrate these systems with varying sensitivity, but none of them seem to understand the difference between actual danger and spirited driving. The warning lights and beeps can't be permanently disabled in many vehicles. You can turn them off for the current drive, but they'll reset next time you start the car, joining start-stop in the pantheon of features that don't remember your preferences. Poorly maintained road markings cause even more chaos. Faded lines, construction zones, and inconsistent paint quality send these systems into confusion, triggering alerts when nothing is wrong. For enthusiasts who value precise steering, feel, and manual control, Lane Keep Assist represents everything wrong with modern automotive design philosophy. There is another technology that prioritizes smoothness over driving enjoyment, becoming equally controversial. Number 6. CVT transmissions. Continuously variable transmissions work brilliantly on paper. They maintain optimal engine RPM for efficiency, provide smooth acceleration without shift points, and theoretically offer better fuel economy. Formula One actually banned CVTs in the 1990s because they feared the technology would make racing too easy and predictable. That should tell you something about how different CVTs feel from traditional transmissions. The infamous rubber band effect drives enthusiasts crazy. You press the accelerator and the engine revs to a specific RPM, then just stays there while the car accelerates. There's no connection between throttle input and engine response. Instead, you get constant droning noise during acceleration, like a lawnmower stuck at full throttle. Some manufacturers have programmed fake shift points to simulate traditional automatic behavior, which is essentially admitting the natural CVT experience is unpleasant. Nissan's CVTs have earned a particularly rough reputation since 2003, with reliability issues and expensive repairs plaguing many models. Unlike conventional automatics, where transmission shops can often rebuild components, CVT repairs typically require specialized knowledge and parts. They can't handle high-power applications or heavy towing without significant modifications. Mazda has publicly refused to use CVTs in their vehicles, choosing conventional automatics instead, despite the fuel economy penalty. For driving enthusiasts, that decision shows real commitment to the experience over spec sheet numbers. While CVTs make driving feel disconnected, this other interior choice makes your car look terrible almost immediately. Number 7. Piano black trim. Walk into any car dealership and the display models look stunning with their glossy piano black interior trim. Buy that car and drive it for a week, and those same surfaces will look like someone attacked them with sandpaper. Kia's 2024 EV9 deliberately avoids piano black trim after recognizing how quickly it deteriorates, yet many manufacturers continue using it extensively. Every fingerprint shows. Every speck of dust is visible. Keys, phones, jewelry, even your fingernails will scratch the surface. Within months, the premium-looking finish develops a spider web of fine scratches that catch the light and look awful. Cleaning makes it worse because microfiber cloths create their own micro-scratches. The material ages terribly compared to alternatives like brushed aluminum, real wood, or textured plastics. Manufacturers love piano black because it photographs beautifully and costs almost nothing to produce. It's essentially cheap plastic with a glossy coating, but it looks expensive in marketing materials and showroom lighting. The 2024 and 2025 model years have finally seen this trend dying as customer complaints reached critical mass. More brands are switching to matte finishes, soft-touch materials, and actual premium alternatives. For anyone who keeps their car more than a year, piano black trim is a constant reminder that cost-cutting masqueraded as luxury. At least piano black only looks bad. Our next feature actively interferes with your driving. Number 8. Gesture controls. BMW introduced gesture controls about a decade ago, letting drivers wave their hands to adjust volume, answer calls, or navigate menus. It seemed futuristic and innovative until people actually tried using it daily. BMW is now abandoning the technology after internal studies revealed owners rarely use gesture controls, preferring traditional buttons and voice commands instead. The detection was never reliable enough for consistent use. You'd reach for something and accidentally trigger a command. During animated conversations with passengers, hand movements would randomly change songs or adjust settings. The system required specific gestures performed in precise locations, which felt more complicated than just pressing a button. When it worked, it was a neat party trick. When it didn't work, which was often, it became frustrating. Physical buttons provide tactile feedback and require deliberate action, making them more reliable and satisfying to use. Voice controls have improved dramatically and offer genuine hands-free operation for appropriate situations. Gesture controls fell into an awkward middle ground, requiring you to take your hand off the wheel without providing significant advantages. The technology demonstrated engineering capability, but failed the fundamental test. Did it make driving better? For almost everyone, the answer was no. Sometimes the simplest solution really is the best solution. Unfortunately, simple solutions don't seem to be what modern safety engineers are prioritizing. Number 9. Overly aggressive safety systems. Modern cars have transformed into mobile alert systems, constantly bonging, beeping, and vibrating to warn about potential dangers. Forward collision warnings trigger when you're maintaining safe following distance. Driver attention monitors complain if you don't keep your hands in specific positions, even when you're fully alert and engaged. Lane departure systems activate on roads with poor markings, creating alerts where no danger exists. These systems can't be permanently disabled in most vehicles. You can silence them temporarily, but they reset with every restart, forcing you through the same process repeatedly. False positives create genuine distraction. When you're watching the road and suddenly get hit with urgent beeping because the car thinks you're too close to a vehicle that's actually in a different lane, that's not safety, that's stress. Automatic emergency braking has saved lives in genuine emergencies, nobody disputes that. However, the implementation often lacks nuance. Systems brake for shadows under overpasses, leaves blowing across the road, or vehicles in adjacent lanes during turns. Manufacturers calibrate these features to be oversensitive because missing a real emergency looks worse than triggering false alarms. The result is that drivers stop trusting the systems, often becoming desensitized to actual warnings. The real issue is the lack of user control. These features exist primarily to score well in safety ratings, not because customers demanded them. A middle ground would let drivers adjust sensitivity or disable features permanently after acknowledging the risks. But regulatory pressure keeps pushing toward more intervention, not less. The final feature on our list takes control issues to an entirely different level. Number 10. Subscription features. BMW attempted to charge monthly subscriptions for heated seats already installed in your car, and the backlash was immediate and fierce. This represents a fundamental shift in automotive ownership. You're not just buying a car anymore, you're licensing features that physically exist in your vehicle but remain locked behind paywalls. Remote start subscriptions have become common across multiple manufacturers. The hardware is installed, the capability exists, but accessing it requires ongoing payments. Software-locked features mean you own components that you can't use without manufacturer permission. Some brands charge subscriptions for advanced navigation, performance features, or even things like automatic high beams. The long-term implications worry enthusiasts deeply. What happens when the company decides your car is too old to support? Will features stop working? What about privacy concerns with connected services that enable these subscriptions? Used car buyers face particular confusion since subscription status doesn't transfer automatically, potentially requiring new fees for features the original owner already paid to unlock. Consumer pushback has forced some reversals. BMW backtracked on heated seat subscriptions in most markets after the negative publicity. However, the subscription model keeps appearing in different forms because it represents recurring revenue that appeals to shareholders. For enthusiasts who value ownership and independence, subscription features represent a dystopian future where you never truly own your car, you just rent access to its full capabilities. So what do you think about these features? Are manufacturers killing the driving experience, or is this just progress that enthusiasts need to accept? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, especially if there's a feature we missed that drives you absolutely crazy. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more automotive content that cuts through the marketing nonsense. Until next time, let's engage.